Welcome, my fellow weeaboos. It's time to discuss One Punch Man. In the recent chapters of the One Punch Man manga, it seems the heroes are starting to encounter the cadres, who are the strongest monsters of the Monster Association that all carry a threat level of dragon. Atomic Samurai was graced with running into Black Sperm, who was trying to kill the bowl cut kid that Garo keeps running into. Black Sperm is definitely one of the stranger names and character designs in One Punch Man, and that's saying something considering how many strange characters there are in this series. He has the power to keep multiplying even when he is cut into tiny pieces, which makes him a terrible matchup for Atomic Samurai, whose only move is to cut things up with his sword. Black Sperm said Gyoro put thought into the matchups, but Atomic Samurai was the one who engaged Black Sperm, not the other way around. So I'm not sure if this is just luck, a coincidence, or if it was somehow elaborately planned out so they knew Atomic Samurai would attack Black Sperm, though that seems unlikely. This isn't the first time Atomic Samurai had to deal with an enemy resistant to being cut up though, as he fought Melzergard in the past, and since then he's been thinking of a way to deal with enemies like that. And his big brain move he came up with was increase the speed and number of his slashes. So basically all he could come up with was to try harder. This reminds me of Dragon Ball Z Movie 6, The Return of Cooler, where Piccolo's idea to beat Cooler's robots was basically just to hit them harder, which Team 4-Star made fun of in their abridged version of the movie. And probably to no surprise to anyone, Atomic Samurai's new technique didn't work. The battle cuts away to Zombie Man, who is then ambushed by the most woke character in One Punch Man, Homeless Emperor. This dude was abused and discarded by his boss, where he finally realized how insignificant humans were and how grand the earth was in comparison. Right when he was contemplating dying so that he can return himself to nature, God revealed himself in front of him. Or at least the creature standing before him claimed to be God, as Zombie Man brought up how he didn't have any idea to prove who he really was, so it could very well be a creature posing as God. This entity gave power to Homeless Emperor and told him he knew what to do with it, which he did, as Homeless Emperor knew that humans were a harmful existence to the planet and that they needed to be exterminated. This sounds very similar to the first monster Saitama was ever shown defeating, Vaccine Man. He also had a very similar type of power as well, shooting energy balls that cause large explosions. Maybe these aren't just coincidences, and the same thing that gave Homeless Emperor power is what created Vaccine Man. According to Vaccine Man, the Earth is a single living organism and its will gave birth to him. So maybe it was Earth's will that appeared in front of Homeless Emperor and granted him power. Even with this God-given power, he's having problems with putting down Zombie Man, as it seems Zombie Man is pretty much immortal and can regenerate from just about anything. It makes me wonder how his regeneration would hold up against Saitama. Regeneration isn't the only thing he can do with his undying body though. He literally uses his body as a storage unit, sticking his hand into his chest, pulling out a gun. If Zombie Man can feel pain, he is one tough SOB. It then switches over to a My Mask walking down a hallway, carrying a severed head of a still-living monster that he is forcing to show him around. He finds and destroys the chamber where they were nurturing the monster cells they were using to change humans into monsters, but right after he was done, something started to close in on him fast, and all of a sudden he was under attack. A My Mask retaliated, throwing the severed head at the monster, and right when he got close enough to strike, a shocked look appeared on his face. The cocky My Mask started getting knocked around, admitting that even he could not defeat this creature. We are then shown the full visage of this monster known as Führer Ugly, another cadre. He's a type of monster known as an Ugmon, which are basically ugly humans that turn to the dark side. A My Mask then reveals the real problem and the reason he can't win, which isn't the monster's too strong, but rather he freezes up when he sees something extremely ugly. This makes a My Mask look even more like a weenie than he already did, and hopefully his smug ass gets beat in the coming chapters, as he really needs a reality check. Well, whatever happens, I'm looking forward to the coming chapters, as it's finally time for the top heroes to face off against the top monsters. These fights are already really interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens with them, and there should be more on their way soon. I'm going to continue making One Punch Man content on my channel, so if you liked my video and are interested in hearing me babble on about One Punch Man or other manga or anime, subscribe for more!